So we're seeing a decent corrective move to the upside on Cardano ADA, and it looks like within this X wave, a double XY structure has formed, and there is a possibility that we could go even higher, given that the Y wave typically retraces anywhere between 1 to 1.236 of the W wave. And so if I use the fib retracement tool, you can see that ADA could potentially reach anywhere between 64.64 cents to around 65.53 cents. Now, of course, the minimum requirement has been met, and that is the 0.618 retracement level. And of course, we've also tapped into our X-Wave target, which is a 50% to 88.2% retracement of the W wave. And so that's this target here that you can see between 63 cents to 65.98 cents. Now, in addition to that, we are looking healthy, or at least we were looking healthy, given that we were trading above the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. But here we are now retesting the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. Now, we have seen the golden cross where the 50 EMA ended up crossing the 200 EMA, and that's a reflection of what has already taken place, which is this move here, which I believe was a 6% move. And so if I just very quickly draw that in. So yeah, you're looking at about 6.78% move to the upside. Now you can also see that on the stochastic RSI, we are now reaching the oversold conditions, and so the bears are slowly starting to lose out momentum, which of course the bears taking control of the market in the last couple of hours has resulted in us retesting the EMA levels. And so if the bulls begin to take over, ideally I'd want ADA to then potentially reach this region here. Now, as far as the daily chart goes, you can see that smart money concept again is indicating that we have a strong low. Now, once we do, or if we do reach this region here, then I am looking for ADA to potentially reach this region here between 52.7 cents to 58.29 cents. And of course, that would be a good opportunity to be dollar cost averaging and accumulating your ADA. And for me, as long as ADA is below $1, then that is definitely a good opportunity to be buying in. And so right now, ADA is currently trading at 62.55 cents. And of course, if we end up reaching this region here, then that will be a bonus. Now, I have this target drawn in, reason being there is a possibility that we could go even deeper. Now, you can see that we have a strong low, and if we break that strong low, then that could then result in a breakout structure, which would then confirm that we are on a bearish trend. And if we do reach this region, I do think that it will be temporary rather than permanent. And short term, I'm slightly bearish, even if we reach this region here. Now, I wouldn't bank my money on ADA reaching this zone, given that there is a possibility that we have a double bottom and we are now in a wave 3. And the wave 3 will then be made up of corrective waves where you have your WXY structure and then another WXY structure where we then reach this region here. And then we have another WXY structure to the upside where we could then potentially reach that $1 target that I've been talking about previously. And so, yeah, as far as ADA goes, we are still looking healthy despite the negative action that we've seen recently in the last couple of hours. And I am looking for ADA to potentially reach this region here between 64.65 cents to 65.53 cents. And should that be the case, then the next target for me would then be this target between 52 to 58 cents. And then it will be a case of whether or not we get that move to the upside, where we can then begin to track our wave Y, which is then complete the wave X. And should that be the case, there's two scenarios in play right now, one of which is bearish, where we break the low at 51 cents, and the other is bullish, where we then can target at the $1 target. But only time will tell, but I'll keep you guys updated. So if you find this video useful, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.